My girlfriend looked me in the eyes and said the words that would change everything. I'm too young to be tied down. I need to explore my options. 3 years together, just like that. And you know what I said? I said, explore away. 6 months later, she came crawling back, ready to commit, ready to settle down. And I looked at her and said, I don't need you anymore. That's when the chaos erupted. That's when everything went completely off the rails. I'm 27 years old. My name's Derek. And 3 weeks after I put down a deposit on an apartment we were supposed to move into together, I got the speech. You know the one. The I need to find myself speech. Mia was 25. We'd been together for 3 years. 3 whole years. We met at a friend's game night, just a random Thursday evening that turned into something beautiful. We hit it off immediately. She was funny, smart, absolutely gorgeous. The kind of girl who could light up a room just by walking into it. We'd survived everything life threw at us. Her finishing college while I was already working full-time. My job relocation that could have ended things right there. We even made it through a 6-month long-distance relationship when she did an internship 2 states away. 6 months of video calls, weekend flights when we could afford them, counting down the days until we'd be in the same city again. We survived all of that. I thought we could survive anything. The conversation happened on a Thursday evening. Isn't it funny how the worst moments of your life always seem to happen on the most ordinary days? We were at this taco place we loved, one of those hole-in-the-wall spots where they knew our order by heart. We were planning furniture layouts for the new apartment, talking about which couch would fit in the living room, whether we needed a second bookshelf. Normal couple stuff, future stuff. And then she put her fork down. Derek, we need to talk. Those 5 words. My stomach dropped immediately because nobody, and I mean nobody, says that before good news. I knew something was about to shatter, I just didn't know how bad it would be. I've been thinking, she continued, and she started twirling her hair the way she always did when she was nervous. I'm 25. I've only been with 3 guys, including you. I feel like I'm missing out on experiences, you know. I'm too young to be tied down. I just stared at her, tied down. That's what she called our relationship, tied down. We're moving in together, not getting married tomorrow, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. But that's the path we're on, right? She said. Move in, get engaged, married, kids, the whole thing. And I need to explore my options, see what else is out there. So you want to break up to date around? I had to say it out loud, just to make sure I was understanding this correctly. She nodded, and then she reached for my hand, like that was supposed to make this better. I pulled it back. But we can stay friends, she said, like that was some kind of consolation prize. And who knows, maybe after I've had my fun, we can reconnect. You're definitely husband material, Derek, just not yet. Husband material? Not yet. Let those words sink in for a second. I was husband material, but not yet. Like I was a couch she wanted to put on layaway. Like I was something she could just set aside and come back to when she was ready, when she was done shopping around for something better. Mia, I said slowly, and I remember my voice was so calm it almost scared me. If you leave to explore, we're done permanently. She laughed. She actually laughed. Don't be dramatic, she said. People take breaks all the time. This isn't a break, I told her. You're ending a 3-year relationship to sleep around. That's not, she sighed, like I was the one being difficult. Look, I know you're upset, but you'll understand eventually. We're meant to be together. I just need to get this out of my system first. I stood up, right there in that taco place, threw cash on the table for my half. Didn't even finish my food. Explore away, Mia. Hope you find what you're looking for. I left her sitting there with her mouth open, probably shocked that I wasn't begging, wasn't crying, wasn't promising to wait for her. I went straight home and called the landlord about the deposit. Lost $500 since Mia hadn't signed anything yet, but it was worth it. Worth every penny to not deal with breaking a lease later when this whole thing inevitably crashed and burned. That night, I blocked her on everything. Not dramatically, not after some big emotional goodbye, just decisively, cleanly. She wanted to explore. She could do it without me watching from the sidelines like some pathetic backup plan. I blocked her number, her social media, every way she had to reach me. I thought that was the end of it, I really did. 2 months went by, 2 months of complete radio silence, and then the flying monkeys arrived. You know what flying monkeys are, right? Those friends and family members who do someone's dirty work for them, who try to guilt you or manipulate you on behalf of someone who can't do it themselves. First, it was her best friend, Tessa. I got a text from an unknown number. "Hey Derek, it's Tessa. Can we talk? Mia is really struggling." Deleted it immediately. Didn't even hesitate. Then her sister Nora found me on LinkedIn of all places. "Hi Derek, hope work is going well," like we were old colleagues catching up. Random question. "Are you planning to be at Brent's birthday party? Mia mentioned you guys are taking some space, but she really misses you." Taking some space? Like I was on vacation or something. Like this was some temporary thing we'd work through. I didn't respond to that either. Then came the accidental run-ins. Except they weren't accidental at all. Suddenly, Mia's at my coffee shop, the one I go to every morning before work. Then she's at my grocery store, standing in the produce section like she belongs there. Then the bookstore I go to every Saturday afternoon without fail. Each time she acted so surprised. "Derek, oh wow, what are the odds?" The third time, I didn't even pretend. "Pretty high since you know my routine," I said. She tried to look offended. "I shop here too." "Since when?" I asked her. "You hate this store. You said their produce section smells weird." "People change," she huffed. "Exactly," I said, taking my cart to self-checkout. "People change. But here's what really killed me. Here's what made me realize I'd made the right choice. Mutual friends started telling me about her exploration phase. Different guy every week on her Instagram stories. Clubbing constantly. Bottle service, the whole scene. There was a Vegas trip with some dude she met on Hinge. She was living her best life, apparently. Living it up, exploring all those options she just had to explore. Meanwhile, I was just living. Not living my best life, not posting it all over social media, just living. I started playing in a rec league basketball team on Tuesday nights. Took a coding boot camp my company offered, something I'd been putting off because I was always planning romantic dinners or weekend trips. And you know what? I got promoted to team lead. Turns out, focusing on work when you're not constantly planning your social calendar around someone else really boosts your productivity. Who knew? Then last week happened. I got home from basketball practice, sweaty, tired, ready for a shower and some leftover pizza, and there she was. Mia, sitting outside my apartment door like she had every right to be there. But she wasn't dressed for clubbing this time. She was wearing the old college hoodie of mine that she'd kept, the one I'd actually forgotten about until that moment. "We need to talk," she said. "No, we don't," I said, unlocking my door. She stood up. "Please, Derek, 5 minutes." "You had 3 years," I told her. "You traded them for 6 months of exploration. How'd that work out?" The tears started then. Perfect timing, perfect delivery, like she'd practiced in the mirror. "I made a mistake, okay? I explored, I dated, I had my fun. And you know what? I learned that you're the one I want. I actually laughed. I couldn't help it. You're the one I want, I repeated. You're the one I want now after you've test-driven every other option in town. That's not fair, she said. Isn't it? I asked her. You literally told me I was husband material. You wanted to save for later, like I'd just be waiting on the shelf for you whenever you decided you were done shopping around. I thought you would wait, she said, and the entitlement in her voice was unbelievable. We had 3 years together. Had, I said, past tense. You ended it to go have fun, and now you want to end the fun to be with me. Mia, I said, and I'm not proud of this, but I lied. I'm seeing someone. I wasn't seeing anyone. But watching her face crumble, watching the realization hit her, it was worth it. What? She said. Who? For how long? Doesn't matter, I told her. What matters is I moved on, like you wanted. I didn't want you to move on, she said, and her voice cracked. I wanted you to be there when I came back. There it was, the truth, the actual truth behind all of this. She wanted me to be there when she came back. Like I was supposed to just pause my life, put everything on hold, wait patiently while she did whatever she wanted. Go home, Mia, I said. She didn't. She sat back down right there in the hallway. I'll wait, she said. You'll realize we're meant to be together. I called building security, told them my ex-girlfriend was trespassing, that she refused to leave. They escorted her out while she yelled about true love and second chances, her voice echoing down the hallway. The other tenants peeked out their doors watching the show. That should have been the end of it. That really should have been the end. But it wasn't. It wasn't even close. The day after security removed her, the campaign started. And I mean a full-blown campaign. First, she showed up at my job. She actually showed up at my workplace. Told reception she was my girlfriend and needed to drop off my medication. The receptionist called security, and security called me down to the lobby. She was standing there holding a bag from the sandwich shop we used to go to. You forgot your lunch, babe, she said when she saw me. The security guard looked confused, looking between us like he was trying to figure out what was happening. I didn't even engage, I told the guard. She's my ex. Please remove her. Derek, don't be like this, Mia said. We need to talk. I just watched as security walked her out while my coworkers tried not to stare from across the lobby. My manager pulled me aside after. Everything okay? Ex-girlfriend having trouble with the concept of ex, I said. Won't happen again. It happened again. Different approach, though. Flowers arrived at my office the next day. A huge arrangement, the kind that costs at least $200. The card said, "For my soulmate, always yours, M." I threw them in the break room, let the admins enjoy them. I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of a reaction. Then came the social media blitz. Since I'd blocked her everywhere, she created new accounts. She was commenting on posts from 2 years ago with inside jokes, tagging me in, memories on Facebook through mutual friends' accounts. She posted this long letter on Instagram about losing the love of her life to pride. My favorite part, the part that really showed how delusional she was, she wrote, "He says he's moved on, but I know he still loves me." True love doesn't just disappear. My buddy Trevor sent me screenshots. "Bro, she's lost it." "Just ignore it," I told him. I told everyone the same thing. Don't engage, don't respond, don't give her ammunition. But Mia wasn't done, not even close. She reached out to my mother. My mother. Mom called me confused. "Honey, Mia just called crying about how you won't forgive her for some fight." What happened? I explained the whole story, everything. The speech at the taco place, the exploration, the stalking, all of it. Mom was quiet for a minute. So, she dumped you to sleep around and expects you to take her back? Basically, I said. Oh, hell no, Mom said. I like that girl, but hell no, I'll handle this. I don't know what my mom said to Mia, but Mia's mom called me the next day screaming. Actually screaming into the phone. How dare you turn your mother against my daughter? Mia made one mistake. One mistake. You're destroying her. Mrs. Patterson, I said, trying to stay calm, your daughter made a choice. I've made mine. Please don't contact me again. You'll regret this, she said. She was the best thing that ever happened to you. Then why did she leave? I asked. Silence. Complete silence on the other end. You're a cold, heartless man, she finally said. No, I told her. I'm a man who knows his worth. Goodbye. I hung up. The calls kept coming, though. Different numbers, borrowed phones, each voicemail more unhinged than the last. I know you're home. I can see your light on. That blonde girl from your basketball team, is that her? Is that your new girlfriend? We're meant to be together. You know we are. I'll wait forever if I have to. I filed a police report for harassment. The officer basically said, unless she threatened me physically, it was a civil matter. He suggested a restraining order. My lawyer buddy Anthony looked into it. You need more documentation, he told me. Keep recording everything. So I did. Every text, every voicemail, every unexpected visit. I built a file, documented everything with dates and times. Then, last night, things went nuclear. I was on a date. My first one since Mia, actually. Her name was Harper, and I'd met her at the coding boot camp. She was smart, funny, and she didn't treat me like a backup plan. We were at this Italian place downtown, one of those cozy spots with dim lighting and candles on every table. We were having a good time, actually laughing, actually connecting. And then Harper's face went pale. Derek, she said quietly, that woman at the bar keeps staring at us. I turned around. Mia. She was wearing the red dress, the one I bought her for our second anniversary. She raised her wine glass at me like a toast, like we were old friends catching up. Then she started walking over. Derek, what a coincidence, she said. You need to leave, I told her. She looked at Harper, sized her up like she was competition. Oh, I'm Mia, Derek's girlfriend. Well, ex, but not for long. She smiled like a shark. Harper started to stand, probably to avoid a scene. I touched her hand. Stay, please, I turned to Mia. You're embarrassing yourself. Am I? Mia said. Or are you embarrassing yourself with this obvious rebound? Harper laughed. Actually laughed right in Mia's face. Lady, I don't know what your deal is, but this is just sad. Mia's face twisted. Excuse me? You heard me, Harper said. Whatever you had with Derek, you threw it away. Now you're stalking him at restaurants. That's not romantic, it's pathetic. You don't know anything about us, Mia said. I know he blocked you, Harper said. I know you've been harassing him. I know you're about 3 seconds from getting arrested if you don't leave. I pulled out my phone. I'm calling the police. Mia tried to grab it, lunged for my phone across the table. She knocked over Harper's wine in the process. Red wine everywhere, all over Harper's white blouse, all over the white tablecloth. The manager appeared immediately. Ma'am, you need to leave. I'm not going anywhere, Mia said. This is my boyfriend. Ex-girlfriend, I corrected. Who's stalking me? Please call the police. The manager nodded to a waiter who pulled out his phone immediately. That's when Mia realized she'd miscalculated. Derek, don't do this, please. You did this, I told her. Every choice, every escalation, you did this. The cops arrived 10 minutes later. They took statements from me, From Harper, from the manager, even from other diners who saw everything. Mia tried to spin it as a misunderstanding, just a passionate argument between former lovers. But Harper's wine-soaked shirt told a different story. They didn't arrest her, but they gave her a criminal trespass warning for the restaurant and strongly suggested she leave me alone. As they escorted her out, she yelled, "This isn't over, Derek. We're meant to be together." Harper was incredible about it. She even joked that she'd never had such an eventful first date. We grabbed pizza after, tried to salvage the evening, but the mood was pretty shot. She did kiss me goodnight, though, and she said, "Call me when you get that restraining order." I filed for an emergency protective order the next morning. Court date was set for the following week. Court day arrived. I showed up with Anthony in a folder thick with evidence. Text messages, voicemails, witness, statements from the restaurant, the police report. Everything documented and organized. Mia showed up with her mom and what looked like a lawyer she found on a bus bench ad. And she transformed herself. She was dressed like she was going to church. Conservative dress, minimal makeup, hair pulled back in a bun. The transformation from party girl back to good girl was almost impressive. The judge reviewed the evidence, flipping through page after page. The texts, the voicemails, the witness statements, everything. Mia's lawyer tried to paint it as a misunderstanding between former lovers. "Your Honor, my client simply wants closure. She's been trying to apologize for ending the relationship hastily." The judge looked at him over her glasses. "Counselor, did you review the evidence? Specifically the voicemail where your client says, and I quote, 'I can see your light on'?" Even her lawyer looked uncomfortable. Then Mia asked to speak. Against her lawyer's advice, she stood up. "Your Honor, Derek and I had 3 beautiful years together. I made one mistake. I asked for space to grow as a person, and now he's punishing me for it." The judge flipped through papers. "You ended the relationship to, in your words, explore options?" "Yes, but..." "And Mr. Reed told you this would be permanent." "He was upset," Mia said. "He didn't mean it." "Ma'am," the judge said, "you're 25 years old enough to understand consequences. You ended a relationship. He accepted it and moved on. Your refusal to accept his decision has led to stalking, harassment, and assault." "I didn't assault anyone," Mia said. "You knocked over a glass." While attempting to grab his phone, the judge said, after following him to a restaurant while he was on a date. Mia started crying. Real tears this time, not the practiced ones. "I just wanted him back. Is that a crime?" "The stalking and harassment," the judge said. "Actually, yes." Restraining order granted. 2 years, no contact, stay 500 feet away, the whole deal. As we left the courthouse, Mia's mom cornered me in the parking lot. "Are you happy now?" she said. "You've humiliated her, destroyed her reputation." "Mrs. Patterson," I said, "Mia did this to herself." "She loved you," her mom said. "No," I told her. "She loved the idea of having me waiting as a backup plan. There's a difference." "You'll die alone with that attitude," she spat. Anthony stepped in. "Ma'am, any further contact from you or your family will be considered violation of the protective order by proxy. Walk away." She huffed off, but not before spitting out one last line. "She was too good for you anyway." "Right," I said. "That's why she was stalking me." The aftermath was swift and brutal. Mia lost her job. Turns out showing up to work sporadically because you're too busy stalking. Your ex doesn't impress employers. Her Instagram went from party pics to motivational quotes about surviving narcissistic abuse and rising from the ashes. The irony was not lost on me. Tessa reached out one last time through a mutual friend. "Just so you know, Mia's in therapy now. She realizes she messed up, Maybe in a year or two you could consider." "No," I said. "But tell her therapy is great. Hope she learns from this. But we're never getting back together, ever." "You're really cold, you know that?" Tessa said. "No," I told her. "I'm someone who knows you can't treat people like safety nets." That was 3 months ago. Haven't heard anything since. The restraining order seems to be working, seems to have finally gotten through to her. Harper and I are still dating. We're taking it slow, but it's nice. It's nice being with someone who actually wants to be with me, not just keeping me as an option for later. She jokes that she knew I was worth it when my crazy ex showed up. "Only quality guys have stalkers that committed," she says. Dark humor, but it helps. My mom still randomly texts me about once a week. "Thank God you didn't marry that girl." Dad just says I handled it better than he would have. The funny thing is, if Mia had just broken up with me normally, if she'd just said she wasn't feeling it anymore, that she wanted different things, I would have been hurt. I would have been devastated, honestly. But I would have understood. People grow apart. It happens. Relationships end. But the entitlement of thinking I'd wait around while she played the field, the assumption that I'd be grateful when she decided she was done, the absolute meltdown when I wouldn't follow her script, that told me everything I needed to know about who she really was. Looking back now, there were signs. Little comments about how I was lucky to have her, how she'd chosen me over other guys, how I should be grateful she wasn't as high maintenance as her friends. She never saw me as a partner. I was an accessory. A safe, stable accessory she could put down and pick back up whenever it was convenient. Well, this accessory walked himself right out of her life. Best $500 deposit I ever lost. Probably saved me from a divorce that would have cost way more, both financially and emotionally. To anyone reading this, to anyone in a similar situation, listen to me. You're not a backup plan. You're not someone's safety net. You're not required to wait around while they find themselves or explore or whatever they want to call it. When someone shows you how they value you, believe them. Believe them the first time. And value yourself enough to walk away, even when they stalk you afterward. Especially then, actually. Trust me, the restraining order paperwork is worth more than their promises ever were.